Yep, good morning, scrappers, scrapettes, planet lovers, recyclers, friends of the channel, TikTok and YouTube nation. How are ya? Running a little bit late today, sorry guys. I absolutely was out of groceries, and my local market was running a very big sale on quite a few things that I use on a regular basis. So I got myself out of the house and got over to the grocery store and, got myself stocked up. I was out of coffee. Man, that could be a crisis around here, let me tell you. And I'm a tea drinker usually, but some mornings you want your coffee. Been a lot going on in Scrappy Deville, let me tell you. I got my outside awning delivered and installed yesterday. It's okay. It's not what I was expecting, but it'll allow me to spend some time outside, and that's always a good thing. I prefer to do the messier scrapping outside. I don't like bringing it inside, but as you see, today we're in crazy weather pattern we're in. It's going from rainy and dreary and coldish to 100 degrees and very muggy-ish. I don't even know if that's a word. Muggy-ish. So anyway, we're inside today. I do have two pieces to do today. Both, I believe, are Cisco's. I'm not sure. This looks like a sun. This might be a sun. I've really been focusing on things that grade as high-grade telecom because right now that's really where the money is. I've been stashing away the other computers and things that I have, hoping but right now I'm just focusing on a lot of the high-end stuff. This has bent rack ears, and I knew that when I bought it, so I'm going to have to work on that a little bit. Hello, Jay Carlton. Alright, this is my usual Sunday morning live. I'm running, just as I said, a little bit behind. Let's dig in, let's see what we got. I did purchase both of these items online from a very reputable seller, and let's see what we get. I go after things that are broken, decommissioned, not working, incomplete. Those are the kind of things I buy. I don't buy working servers, really. I buy things that are outdated, stuff like that. Hey, Patrick Williams, good morning. Jay Carlton, welcome. So, let me just notch the air conditioner up a wee bit. And I did get a comment the other day, basically, do you do anything but servers? And the answer is yes, I do. But for a lot of you who have been following me, you know that I've been working on starting a dedicated e-scrap business. So to do that, I've got to get a lot of material processed. So that's kind of the number one thing right now, is getting a lot of material processed. I cannot keep RAM in the store. Matter of fact, this is already sold. I have an order for 5 pounds from the Southern Scrapper I've got to finish. And, that's been selling really well. I sold out of these old vintage CPUs. Those went, even though they're pinless, they sold. And right now, there's been a big change in the grading. I would refer you to Shark Scrapper's channel and to Board Sort's channel. What happened is they've changed the grading on all of the boards, which is why I'm really a little more picky about what I'm processing right now. Picky processing! I'm a picky processor! This is very good RAM, even though it's older. So I think this is only 2 gigs. It feels pretty late. But for those of you who are into gold refining, the gold is high quality here. and you don't have a lot of rubbish on the board. You've got chips on both sides. So I'm comfortable selling this kind of server RAM to those of you who do process gold. As I said, right now I have an order to get together for my friend the Southern Scrapper, and then hopefully I'll get some more up for you. It is muggy as. So we've been busy around here, and not so busy that I forget about my friends here on TikTok, though. I've had the rental season, all the rental returns are coming back, so my primary business is I run a band instrument rental service, and we're always busy this time of year. Alright, this looks like a sun to me, and I honestly forgot what it is because I did. I'd have to go back and look. Jeremiah from PET, if you happen to be on, do you remember what you sold me? This looks like a Sun Microsystems to me. And I know when I bought it, it was incomplete. Alright, so some items of quality in here. Definitely the PCI risers. Those are always going to be a good gold-fingered card. And for those of you, yeah, it's a server board, Parker. It may be massive, but that doesn't always mean it's a good quality board. Cisco tends to be pretty good. Sun tends to be pretty good. The thing where I get my value is the RAM, the CPUs. This one's going to be probably aluminum. I've been digging out these copper heat sinks, which is why you haven't seen a lot of me lately. I had 250 of these blade servers that had these 4 pounds of copper in them, and I've just been going absolutely gangbusters on those. And you know, you gotta make money when the market's good for your product, right? Good morning, Scrooge McDuckin. Patrick, thank you for the gift. Congratulations on the gift gallery. By the way, Patrick, your live was excellent the other day. Keep them coming. It was nice to see you live on TikTok. Guys, if you're into microscrapping, Patrick Williams is the man to watch. And if this video goes over an hour, which it probably will, I will repost it onto my YouTube channel. TikTok only lets you do like an hour. Alright. I've been doing so many blade servers, I can't remember where to begin on this beastie boy. I usually start with the power supplies to lighten the load, but I've got to get these rails off. They're bent, and I can't get the power supply out at this split second. Hi, Angel Williams. Good morning. Glad to see all my Sunday morning friends finding me. Wow, we're already 2.3K, guys. I know we've been on a couple of minutes. God bless you guys. You're good for my self-esteem. All right, let's go. For those of you who look to purchase e-scrap, part of the reason I do these videos is to show you what's inside in case you decide to see something you may want to buy. I don't want to see you get burnt. Obviously, the best way to get e-scrap is to get it for free. For me, what I've been doing lately is I'm buying enough to keep content on the channel. I think over the summer I should be able to get plenty from the schools. They're all going to upgrade. I need the Godzilla screwdriver. So I look for things that have PCI cards, RAM. I look for a copper CPU, which I don't always get. Copper heatsink, which I don't always get. But that was why I bought all those blade servers. They were old, so the boards are very high quality. They were, I think we got 2011 out of them. And I got those copper heat sinks, and I got a lot of RAM. So there was definitely money to be made on that purchase. I didn't expect it to take me a month, but yeah, they're getting there. PCI riser cards are a really, really good source of gold. You won't get as many chips as you get on the RAM, but you will get something that'll yield you some good gold recovery. Let me grab something to grab this with. I don't want to cut myself again. I think I did that like the first live I ever did. I ripped my hand open. And you guys all were here to see that. Alright, who's holding you in? Usually this thing is a push, pull, lift, carry, tear. There we go. So these are PCI riser cards. I do sell these in my eBay store by the pound. Loaded with gold here. And very good gold fingers. Maybe not as gold bearing as RAM sticks. But, you know, if you're into just gold refining, yeah, you've got plenty of good gold fingers here. So, PCI riser cards, if you're looking into eScrap, try to find PCI riser cards. Board Sort buys these as gold finger cards. They also can be put in with backplane boards, because a backplane board, something gold, goes into something gold. That's what backplane boards do. So there's a PCI riser card and a backplane board here, both with, there's two boards here, both with gold fingers. Board Sort buys them as gold finger cards. I sell them as PCI cards and backplane boards in my eBay store. That's all coming along pretty well too. I'm still working on the Computer Scrapper website. I've got it up, but it's not functioning as well as I need it to yet. This is my busy season with the other business, as I've got 1,000 band instruments I've got to go through and clean and service and, you know, get ready to be rented come September. So I have to really devote my summer to that. So be careful with batteries, okay? You want to make sure you dispose of these carefully. Don't ship things with batteries in them. Your buyer will reject your load and it's going to come right back to you at your expense. Nice case, nice clean piece of aluminum. Let's see. Just trying to see what's on here. Yeah, this is a good server. Sun and Cisco. Hey, Coleman, good morning. Hey, and if I miss anybody, I'm sorry. It's just because I love you. You know I do. Sometimes I'm running my mouth and I don't always see the comments go by. Let's see. Yeah, so again, when I purchase this, these are the kind of things I look for. I don't just go buy servers. I'm very lucky. I have two. Well, I have one guy that's local, and he has like warehouses full of stuff, and he'll come in and say, "Come on, D, 60 cents a pound. You can have anything you want," which is fair for server grade stuff. And he'll pull out a few, and I'll go through them and see if it's something I want to buy. That's how I got those blade servers. He had. I don't even know how many of them he had. He had like 2 huge freaking pallets of them. I bought one, and then went back and got the other. This is just shred, guys. Shred is at 150 a gross ton as of last week. I've also cut down on my scrap runs too. I have a lot of stuff in storage right now. Wire, aluminum. Like I said, I'm focusing very hard on telecom grade boards and copper. I don't refine gold. I sell it to people. I sell gold-bearing materials to people who do refine gold. It's not my comfort level. I like taking shit apart. It's fun. I mean, taking things apart. It's fun. That was a joke, guys. I was kidding. I want to see if I can get bleeped. Hey, Dave Donahoe. How are you? Good to see so many of my regulars in on the Sunday morning chat. I was afraid I wasn't going to get back in time. But, like I said, I was out of coffee, man. That just warrants a trip out of the house. And it was raining, so I can't work outside at the moment. It's supposed to get a little bit better later, but, sometimes you just got to adjust a little bit. But I am glad to see you all waited an extra hour for me. I tried to get off early on Sunday. I also, like so many of you, and I know because I see you in the chat, I like to see the Scrappin' Irishes and Shark Scrappers lives in the afternoon. Alright, so this will go as what we call a peripheral high-grade card. It has visible gold. It has a good bunch of chips and not a lot of junk. Those sell fairly well. I usually just sell those to board sort. There are other companies out there besides board sort. Just most of us who have done this for a long time. You see, board sort was one of the first. And because we've all been doing this for several years, that's who we follow. And they really have earned the right to be the leader in this business. And they've done it by good, honest work, fair grading. They're the standards. If people look how to grade a board, like if I go to Joe Blow's scrapyard, right? Hey, Joe Blow scrapyard, I have a bunch of E-scrap here I want to sell. I'm going to go and look and see what board sort's selling it for. You know, and then they're going to probably offer me half of that. My only problem with board sort is shipping. But because they pay better than anybody else, and because they are incredibly honest, oh my God, they are so honest. And that itself is worth everything. So for me, there's nobody else I'd rather deal with. I do have a local person in New Hampshire, which is a 2-hour drive for me. They pay less, but you know what they do? They ship it to board sort. So, you know, choose your poison. So again, this can go as in as PCI riser card or a backplane board if you prefer. It can go with your backplane boards. I sell them as Goldfinger cards to board sort. I also sell them in my store as, come on, tell me what I said I was going to sell these are. Put it in the comments. We haven't played Jeopardy in a long time, have we? Jeez, I've been so busy. So just for simplicity's sake, I throw them in as PCI riser cards. Now this is interesting. There would be a good argument for a slot processor card here, but the slot processor has a very distinct pattern to its gold fingers. They have to go all the way across, and the slit has to literally be in the center. Yes, there are chips on this. A lot of people would argue, no, it's a slot processor. I'm going to tell you, it's going to get processed as the gold. There are chips on this. A lot of people would argue, no, it's a slot processor. I'm going to tell you, it's going to get processed as the Goldfinger card. That's what it's going to come back as. If you try to send this in as a slot processor card, it's going to come right back to you, or it's going to get downgraded. Slot processor cards you'll find on older machines. You sometimes find them on gaming components and video components, but usually your slot processors are on an old machine that has a slot processing board. So if it doesn't have a slot processing board, that doesn't come out of a slot processing board, put it in with your Goldfinger cards. I'll sell this all day long as a Goldfinger card. It's got a little bit of rubbish on it too, so that'll go in with Goldfinger cards. That's a very broad category, by the way. Uh-oh. Okay, this is aluminum. I'm not going to bother cleaning that. I'm going to throw it in with what we call old sheet, which is allowed to have a little bit of metal. Again, I just don't have time. Let's see. Not sure what we're going to get out of here as a chip. Well, I've actually seen Patrick says that RAM in Ireland is at $38.50 a kilo. That's up quite a bit even over last week, isn't it, Patrick? Yeah, RAM is just selling like crazy. I can't keep it in my eBay store. I have seen, was it E-Waste Mike, I think it was? He was saying that he was getting $50 a pound for RAM. It's just, it's out of sight. I sold through... I had 2 big 30-gallon trash cans full of RAM. I sold every bit of it. I had to. For those of you who don't know, I had a flood a couple of weeks ago, and thank God in heaven I had that material. Thank the God Almighty that I saved it, because that's how I'm going to have to raise the funds to repair the flood damage. I'm safe. It's not, the house is livable. I'm not living out under my awning, although I prefer to. But boy, oh boy, and the price of gold shot up. It went up to, what was it, 3,300 an ounce this past week. And right now, with what's happening in the Middle East, God help us all. I don't know what's going to happen. I was so grateful that I had that, but I opted to sell it. You know, you sit on things too long, they go back down, just like copper, right? You know, we all held on to our copper. It hit $5 a pound. Everybody sold their copper, and then it dropped back down to like $3.79. So, you know the old Kenny Rogers song? Gotta know when to hold 'em. Yeah. But I was so grateful, and really, and even now, you know, I can't keep RAM in the store. I mean, I can sell it to board sort at 34 something a pound. I think they're at right now. But I gotta wait like 2 weeks for a check. I don't have 2 weeks to wait for a check right now. I've got to get money flowing in to pay the contractors, you know. So anyway, anybody who's joined and I've missed you, please forgive me, because I'm set up a little bit differently here than I usually am, and I don't really care for this, but it's better for you guys, camera angle wise. All right. The other part, and I know I jump around a lot. I don't mean to. I actually have, when I set up my video every day, I have a game plan. I know what I'm going to talk about. I know what I'm going to discuss, and I kind of prepare myself for what kind of questions would come through. A lot of the topics last week were about boards, and it was because this whole new grading system for boards came through. That's another whole video and another whole story, and again, something you can look over at BoardSort or Shark Scrapper for more information. I presume Sharky will have a bit of discussion on that. That guy does a great job, by the way, Shark Scrapper. You want to find out about boards, between him and BoardSort, you really get all the information you need. Well, BoardSort has gotten onto the AI bandwagon, which is what I was heading for, and they have a program called Oscar. Hi, Southern Scrapper. I was talking about you. Were your ears burning? I got another 2 pounds for you, and another 2 I should process this afternoon, my friend. I might have you 5 pounds by tomorrow. You want to watch about gold refinement? And check out Southern Scrapper, guys. That man is killing it on gold digging. Anyway, so BoardSort has a program, an artificial intelligence program on sorting boards. Basically, you scan your picture of your board and you send it to something called Oscar. And if you're going to ask me what it stands for, I'm going to go, I don't know, because I don't. So they continue to just be killing it. Now, on servers, guys, you have to take these brackets off because they help to anchor the board to the metal plate underneath. It's a Xeon. This is just going to be a Xeon chip, I'm pretty sure. Looking for a date. I'm always looking for a date. I don't have a lot of luck finding them lately, though. Sucks getting old. Just kidding. Well, I'm not really. I got called elderly the other day. Holy crap, man. Seriously? That's why I went out and dyed my hair, for those of you who don't know. Look. I went back to dark. I was going to gray it out and then go blonde for the summer. My adjuster called me an elderly woman the other day. I'm like, dude, seriously, elderly? No, that's it. I went out and I went back to short and dark. That's it. Call me elderly. Only on paper, kids. All right. So, you got to watch these Xeon chips, too, because if you are digging things out of scrap computers, you might find a gold or platinum. The platinum, you'll know it has a really odd design, but most of these are just, it's just a pinless CPU. I can go over there with the buddies. They're $8.90 a pound. That's the best price I've seen on pinless CPUs with a metal back in a very long time. Hey, Scotty, how are ya? Spoke me up. Yes, I did. I did. All right. Let's keep digging. Now, my yard will not buy these Fiat motors. there are copper bearing motors inside. This is why I often say to some of you, I wish you all lived right next to me. I'd just drop it off at your house. These are copper bearing motors. I don't have time to deal with it. They're going to go as just scrap, which really sucks. I could break them apart and I could try to get the copper and sell them as small copper motors. I don't have the space and I don't have the time. They just go with my shred. I've donated a lot of these to the local schools. You know, they do the projects. You and I probably all did them when we were kids. We used to go down to well, maybe not. I'm elderly, remember? Right, hey, good morning. We used to go down to the local pharmacy. Anyhow, he had a smoke shop. And we'd ask he would give us the cigar boxes. We had our local neighborhood school. And, you know, they even saved the cigar boxes for us. And we would get little electric motors from wherever it was we got them from. I don't even remember. You know, you didn't have an eBay or an Amazon. And we would create a circuit in our science classes. You'd take 2 AA batteries. You'd connect a couple of wires. And you'd get your motor to spin. And you would create a circuit out of something. So I've saved a lot of these. I give them to the schools for their science classes. OTD does that too a lot. Gives stuff to the schools. I've saved keyboard buttons for the art teachers. You know, with my other business, I'm in and out of the schools a lot, so I don't really mind. You know, they give me computers and they give me business with my rental company. I like to give back a little bit. Prophet Jonathan, good morning. Thank you, Shell, for the like. I appreciate that. Holy cow, guys, 15,000 likes. Oh my God. I am humbled. Beyond belief. Wow. Thanks, guys, for all of your support. God bless each and every one of you. Yeah, this is a lot of fun. I enjoy doing this. I've cut down a little bit, but it's just because of the rental business being busy. You know, the summer's here. I like to go to the beach. But the problem is I've had all these darn Blade servers, you know, and it gets a little redundant. And, you know, but it has been quite the journey. Who'd ever thought little old Scrappy D from a small town in Connecticut would ever be doing a live channel with so many people following and liking my channel. That's just... You know what else is really fun too? When you go onto other people's channels and your subscribers and your friends and your followers are also there. It's kind of this, I think it's been dubbed the Gold Family. I think that is so cool. I really do. It's kind of like instant friends all across the world, eh? You got to get the fan rate out a lot of times on these servers, guys, because if you don't have room to push the board forward. Yeah. I haven't found the make on this. I am pretty sure this is a Sun server. Just the colors are sun-like, sunny. Yeah. So again, I'll put these aside. I'll probably, if I don't throw them in with my shred, which I don't like to do, I will. I'll donate them to some of the schools I work at for their science classes. Work with. All right, torque screwdriver time. Number 10 torque screwdriver is one of your best friends doing these, guys. So what's everybody doing? Getting ready for the 4th of July here in the States? Fortunately, the weather has finally cooperated, but we went from soggy, damp, and cold to 100 degrees. Now we're in a heat warning for the rest of the week. I had a little pop-up thunderstorm this morning, but I think the sun's going to come out. In spite of the catastrophe in my house, I've really committed myself this summer to getting the outdoors put back together. I've put my gardens back in, putting edging in. I had the landscaper come and aerate the lawn, and we put down grub killer and grass, and just really... you know, trying to get the outside. And I had already committed myself to that for the summer, so I didn't anticipate getting flooded, let me tell you. That was not on the agenda. Not at all. There's another battery here. These batteries have to come off. you can't ship legally with these batteries on. I take those right to the transfer station. I make sure they get recycled. They have a lot of toxic stuff in them. And yeah, it's not good for the planet. Now, I've reached a point where I have to get these out. Alright. I might be able to pull the board forward and just free this here. I've got 2 power supplies here, but I've got bent rails and bent components back here, which I knew when I bought this. So I'm not sure I can free those easily. Alright, Breakout Godzilla here. I'm going to try and push the board forward and see if I can just free it away from these. It's like a backplane board here. The power connector is connected to the board. So let's see. Let's see if we can get this beastie out. Remember those Sun Microsystem boards we did? Oh my god, those were amazing. I wish to god I had held on to those because they went up. Telecom boards have gone up from 5 something a pound to 8 something a pound. They've gone way up because of the gold content. Older boards, yeah, they've gone way up. Scrooge McDuck, do you do anything with these kind of PCI cards and Goldfinger cards as far as gold recovery, or do you just do just do random chips? Guys, want to know anything about gold recovery and where to get your gold from? Check out Scrooge McDuckin. Great channel to watch. You do a good job, Scrooge McDuckin. I really enjoy your channel so much. Let me get this guy off before I forget. I was at one of my local yards, usually where I dump the shred. Hey, Hobie, what are you on? I didn't see you. Hello, C. Biggs. Good morning. Chris, good morning. Good morning, sunshine. I need a small flathead. Probably under here. I was at the scrapyard the other day, and I've been begging with them to sell me e-scrap, and of course they won't. They're a very large yard. They put it on a truck and they just ship it to someplace else, and they won't bother with the average public in here. So, but I go in and I ask every week anyway. I said I'm going to pay more than they will, but I happened to see a pallet of boards, and I said, you know, you got to get these batteries off. I said, they're going to send that whole load back to you. And I proceeded to give them a lesson all about e-scrap. Well, let me tell you, the 4 guys that were there, and I'm not bragging on myself, I've just been doing this a long time, you know. The 4 guys that were there, they got a free education. So they went back to their boss and told him about me and told him about my channel, and be interesting to see if they let me come on board as a consultant. That would be a really cool job. Consultant or an e-waste buyer. That would be really fun. I don't really want to get another job. I want to retire. Alright. You want to always check these for gold ends. They could be gold or that could be brass. I'm going to presume it's gold. I'm going to cut those and put those in with my connector ends. Board Sort buys those. Alright. Soldering on here. There's going to be a backplane board here, which I'll go after. There are no hard drives. I know there's a backplane board here because, see if I can just move this back a little bit. The hard drives would push into a backplane board. Hard drives into a backplane board. So there's a backplane board here for me to go after. And I really want to see if I can get this board free so I can show you the back. This is not a high-grade telecom board. This is going to go probably as a small metal socket green server board. It's got a lot of empty space on it. It's a good board, but it's not going to rate telecom high. It would have to look like this everywhere, all across the board to get telecom high. There's a lot of wasted space on this. This will definitely go as a dual metal socket motherboard. Small socket because I can't fit a quarter in there. There's no CPU under this, that's why I didn't bother. Alright. So anyway, back to the other topic. They've changed the grading on every single category of boards. In a nutshell, once upon a time when computers first came out and they had those lovely gold boards and lots of gold chips and ICs and they were just loaded. You guys know because we all look for those vintage boards, right? They had a high quality of gold content. So move along to the next generation of boards. You begin to see the metal sockets, not the gold pin, and the flat CPUs. That led to your green metal socket motherboards and these. What happened is gold started to go up in price. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to get this board out without addressing this. I'm going to put this aside because I have one more item here that I would like to show you. And so again, there's really nothing extra of value here for me to show you. This is just going to be a dual socket motherboard, server board, and that's how it'll go. I got some RAM. We got a couple of CPUs. I got a couple of nice Goldfinger cards and some PCI cards, and that was good. So if you guys don't mind, because I can't get this apart right now, I'm going to have to go down the basement and bend all this out. And I've got to get these power supplies out before I can get the board out. I don't want to do that right now on camera. It's just too tedious. There's nothing extra to be gleaned from me doing that, so ouch. Now I'm going to put that aside and take the chicken leg out. I usually get the power supply boards out first because it lightens the load up. But I didn't. This is a Cisco switch. Yes. This, I'm going to predict we're going to get a high-grade telecom board out of. Unknown caller. Excuse me 1 second, guys. Sorry. Hello?
Hi, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Yeah, just fill out if you're open today. I have to return a violin.
Yeah, I'm working out of the house at Stratford. Can I send you over? Can I send you the address?
Yeah, that'd be good.
All right. I'll be here. I'll be here most of the day. Just text me before you come. I'll text you over the address in just a second.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. Bye bye. Yeah, I'm working from home. Custard computers. Good morning to the people. And good morning to you. Custom Computers was one of my first subscribers, too. Yeah, so, I wasn't kidding when I said there's a lot going on around here. There is. I've been working from home a lot because my office in Shelton, I am working on closing. The location sucks. There's no other word for it. There's no parking. Very busy area. And, I've reached the point where I really would rather just be home. These are fans. These are fans. What do we got in here? Now, I look for switches when I'm buying Deescrapsescraps. And I especially look for old Cisco switches. Because you usually get... Oh, thank you, C. Biggs. You're awesome, too. I love my fans. I'll tell you, I love my fans. If I were ever to open a merch store, that would be the first one that I put. I love my fans and I love my subs. You guys are awesome. Yeah, so it's been busy. Switch the battery here. I got another one here. I just bought two new screwdrivers and batteries here. Gotta be so careful with these batteries. You gotta let them die all the way, but if they die all the way, sometimes the battery doesn't communicate to the charger and it won't charge. So, alright, get these little screws out. These switches are usually fairly straightforward and easy to scrap. As again, I said I go after these because I anticipate, I have like a list of ones that I know have really good boards in them. So a lot of times I will go after those very specifically because I want to go after that board. Okay. I gotta get the sides. Gotta get this. Okay. Sorry guys, a lot of screws here. I should. Oh, you bum. You're gonna be a bum. You're gonna come out on me, huh? Shit. I hate when that happens. My other favorite tool is my ratcheting screwdriver. The problem is if I can't get those out, I can't do that. I keep telling myself, take this stuff apart, loosen everything before your video. Yeah, that's good advice. Too bad I don't remember. I don't always know when I'm going to go live either. I know usually on Sunday morning, but booger. Oh, come on. I want to do this for my subscribers here. Wait 1 second, guys. Let me see if I can find the ratcheting screwdriver. That one usually does the trick. If you strip the screw, you just gotta take it, you gotta cut it with an angle grinder, and then you can get a flathead screwdriver in there, and I'm not set up to do that in the house. That's an under the awning job. I might not be able to get this apart. Okay. Come on. Positive thinking here. We will get this apart. We will. Remember when I first started this, I used to struggle taking stuff apart. I could never get the stuff to do what it was supposed to. Times have changed. I've gotten better at it. Thank you, Susie O and the Cruisers. Appreciate that very much. Apparently I have a fan club. I don't know a thing about that. I want you to know that. I have no idea how half of this TikTok's along. Yeah, I sure have. Come a long way, Obi-Wan Kenobi says. I have. I had no intention of turning this into a channel when I started this. I really started at putting up educational videos. Those of you who follow me for any length of time know I'm a teacher. I've always been a teacher. Ah, shoot. I always will be a teacher. It's just what I do. And I started it with videos on YouTube so people wouldn't get burned by an e-scrap. And I figured, well, if you could see what's in there, you won't make a mistake buying an e-scrap. And if I could show you what's in there that's worth salvaging, then I'm doing a service. This is going to be a problem. One more try here. Come on, baby. The fans are watching. Be nice. Be nice to old Scrappy D. I'm going to have to go back for that. See, everything is bolted to the board, so if I can't get that apart, that would rot. I've come a long way, but I've also learned a lot from you guys, from my subscribers, from your channels, and even in general from some of the comments that have come across the board. And I don't really like to refer them to as comments. I think I prefer the term feedback. I think everything's going to come out except that one fiddly screw. That would really stink because I want to show you this board. I could do the next best thing, I guess. I could show you what's going to come out of this. if I have to grind that screw, I'm gonna have to take it down to the basement. I don't want to do that. Alright. Yeah, I gotta remember to unscrew all this stuff before I go live and have it prepared. That would be better, huh? I'll do that for you. That'll be the next thing on the improvement of Scrappy D. The evolution of Scrappy D. That's funny. My family got me into TikTok. My niece and my nephews. You know, they're all in their 30s and they're all into the TikTok. I like TikTok's live format a lot better than I like YouTube's. Okay, so this is something that's worth going over. These older power boards, you can pull these pins. You'll get brass and gold. I no longer process these out. I could. Some of them are really good, but some of them are so rubbishy it's not worth it. There's no resale, guys. Believe me, I've tried to sell them. I'll put that aside. Probably hang on to it. Thing is there's so little e-scrap available out there. You don't want to waste your opportunities, you know. Come a long way, yeah, I sure have. But I'm not going to be doing any gold refining. I'm going to leave that to the likes of you guys. That is not for this girl. Damn, I got enough screws here to open the door. I'd really like to get this apart. I don't know if I can because of this. Crud. Come on. Come on, my friends want to see what's inside. Be nice. You guys know what's in here already, right? High-grade telecom board. Want to bet? Cisco switches usually will have a high-grade telecom board. And Board Sort will buy it as a high-grade telecom if the... What are you doing today, Obi-Wan Kenobi? Scrapping power supplies? Yeah, so there's a lot of gold pins in here. But the problem is I can't get this one stupid bracket off. Damn it. Crap. One more shot at it. Now that is strip. The only way I'm going to get it off is to cut it off with an angle grinder. Tell you what I'll do. I will save this and we will open it together. Obviously I can't do it right now because this screw is stripped and it's holding the case on. I can't get that on. So I will put this aside and we will open it together next Sunday in our next Sunday Live. How's that for you? Alright? Alright, everybody. Oh, refining gold and chips. Are you going to be live, Obi-Wan? Or you're probably going to watch Sharky and Scrap and Irish, huh? Yeah, that's a good thing to do while you're watching those guys. If you didn't hear about Wordsworth's new technology called Oscar, that is a scanning tool for grading boards and chips and such. Still under development, but well on its way. That's going to be a great tool. And stay scrappy, guys. Again, watch the price of high-grade telecom boards. Goldfinger gram, as I said, is gotten way up there. Even these pinless CPUs, I've never seen them at almost $9 a pound, ever. I've seen them they were like $4 something for the longest time. Okay, good, perfect timing because I'll be going off. So guys, Hobie1 is going live, and so I am going to sign off. If you're looking for further entertainment on gold refining, check on Hobie1 Kenobi. He'll be going on shortly. All right, thank you, Susie. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed the content. Again, I'm really going to try to stay topic specific. I'm going to try to follow what's going on in the world of buying and selling boards, and try to continue to bring you high quality boards so you know what to look for those of you who are new, for those of you who've been doing it a while, but we can just hang out and chat. All right, everybody. Scrappy D signing off, and I will see you next Sunday. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.